everyone, so I know that I don't usually have my original kind of heavy makeup on, but I just have like eyeliner on today. And the craziest thing is that I made the majority of the makeup on my face right now from things that you can eat at home. So I thought it'd be a really cool video because I was surfing the internet and I was looking at all these like recipes basically showing you how you can cook your own makeup, whether it be lipstick, lip gloss, to even foundation and mascara and eyeliner. And I was pretty amazed, so I thought I would take some of the recipes that I saw online and see if I could recreate them and see if they actually worked, which is what this video is for. So today I'm actually going to be making #1 foundation, blush, eyeliner, lip stain, and a makeup remover, all from things that you can eat. So it's just really trying and experimenting. I take no credit from the recipes at all. I really hope you like it, and I'm gonna be just basically cooking or making the makeup in front of you and also be at trying the makeup as well to see if they actually work. So yeah, really hope you like this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye! Alright, the first thing I'm going to make is gel eyeliner, and you need aloe vera gel, activated charcoal, and vitamin E pills. Now, the activated charcoal I got from a Unity pharmacy. It just comes in pill form, and this is what people take when they have like diarrhea and stuff. I saw a similar recipe that used almonds, and what they did was they basically incinerated the almonds with the fire, and that created the charcoal, but I thought it was a bit toxic for your eye, so instead looked for an alternative, and they suggested you use actually charcoal pills, which are just as black but safe to consume, so probably safe for your eye. So the first thing that you have to do is split open the vitamin E capsule or whatever it's called and drip it into your little jar. Then take your aloe vera gel and just squeeze some in, and then after that take your charcoal pills, well I call them pills or capsules, and you just take it out of the foil. And what you have to do is kind of split it open and pour out all the contents. But it's actually really messy, so you have to be careful. I didn't know how to like just split open or half the pill, so I actually cut a small slice of it off. And it's actually really messy, but then just take a toothpick and just stir it all together, and this will form the base of your gel eyeliner. Now, usually you take around 2 to 3 of these black charcoal capsules to make a good decent pigmentation. As you can see, it is pretty light right now, so that's just with one of them, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and put 2 more. And I actually found a way to split it, and then I just kind of mix it with a toothpick, and it gets actually really clumpy. So I even put a little bit of aloe vera gel just to make it a bit more smooth. But the pigmentation is definitely there. It's just maybe I should have probably sifted the charcoal instead, because you do get a lot of grainy bits. So I'm gonna take it and try and apply it. So here is my brush, and I'm gonna take some of the gel. It's very similar in consistency to a eyeliner gel, except that the particles are a lot rougher, so you don't have it as smooth, I think. So I'm gonna take a good amount. Alright, so here I am applying my gel liner, and as you can see, it doesn't apply very smoothly, so you do have to go like back and forth, and there's a lot of like charcoal clumping as well. So I wouldn't say it can kind of replace a commercial gel liner, but overall I was most impressed with the pigmentation of the eyeliner. It's extremely black, and I also like how it dries pretty matte, so it makes your eyes even bigger. Overall though, you have to go back and forth, but it's not too bad. I was actually pretty impressed with it. See all these like little bits falling out over my lashes. So that, I don't recommend using this if you're going to be out long. But I think if you kind of sieve the charcoal a bit more, you would get a finer texture. But I would probably consider how it would probably last on your eye, because I think once charcoal dries, it just kind of falls off. So yeah. The next beauty product I'm making is, of course, foundation powder. So all you need is turmeric, arrowroot powder, and cocoa powder. I'm also going to use a pressed powder that I already have as reference. First, add a little bit of arrowroot powder, and then you can add your turmeric. So what you're basically trying to do is basically you're gonna kind of add and subtract different ingredients until you get the right mixture of color, and that's why I'm using the pressed powder as reference. I'm not going to put any of that pressed powder inside, but I'm just going to add a little bit turmeric, add a little bit more, add a little bit more of this, and it's really just trial and error until you think the powder does match your face. So yeah, and this is some cocoa powder. I love the smell of cocoa powder. It smells really great. And apparently turmeric is actually really good for your skin, but you have to be careful not to mix it with water because it can stain your face. So that was what I was most concerned about. So this is the color of my choice, and it matches pretty well, I think, and then I just put it into a separate container. Alright, so I have my powder right here, and I do have some makeup on already because I don't know, I feel like if I put the turmeric right on my skin, I'm scared it will stain because I've had experiences with that before. But yeah, so I have it here. And it smells, I was expecting it to smell a little bit more like cocoa powder because I love chocolate, but it smells just like turmeric. So it's very similar to turmeric, because there is a lot of turmeric powder in there. So I have my brushes, and I'm gonna take my brush and I guess dip it inside. So I have it here, and it is really messy, just like any kind of mineral makeup, and a lot clumpier and not as fine. This could be a mistake, guys. I'm scared. Alright, so I have my mirror. Not that bad, actually. I don't know, I guess a blurring flawlessness rather than coverage. My skin is alright. It's like breaks out often, so I like things with coverage. So if you do, I don't know if this recipe will work for you. But overall, I'm pretty impressed. Like, I'm impressed because there's like no, I don't know, clumps of turmeric or clumps of cocoa powder. It's very much all blended together. And I don't know about you, but I feel like my skin is a lot more blurred out, which is great. But I'm really gonna go wash this brush now because I don't want it to stain. So yeah, not too bad at all. This is my D.I.Y foundation. Alright, so now I'm going to make a lip stain, and you can use it using mixed berries. I'm using frozen berries because they're just basically cheaper. Here in Singapore, you don't really get, you know, fresh berries on the spot, and they're usually really expensive. So I got frozen berries, which were cheaper and also provided a bigger variety because you kind of need blackberries and raspberries and pomegranate for this particular lip stain to make that beautiful red dark color. So blackberries really help with that, and they don't really have that fresh in Singapore. So anyway, what you're doing is basically squeezing them in a tea strainer, and then once you're done, add a little bit of olive oil and mix it all together. And this is your lip stain. Okay, so here I have my lip stain, and it's berries and olive oil. When I was making it, I wasn't sure why the recipe calls for olive oil, just because the olive oil and the berries can't really mix together. I see a lot of separation. But anyway, I think, let's try it. It looks really gross actually, because I really like berries, but I've never had berries and olive oil together. It smells like berries and olive oil. I'm gonna just apply it with my finger. The weird thing is that, look, see how the oil and the berries, they don't even mix. You can see they don't mix at all. They have like weird separation anxiety. Actually, not separation, the opposite of separation anxiety. So I think if I didn't put the olive oil like the recipe called, it would be better. This is like Pinterest fail on another level. Alright. I think, yeah, there is a slight difference to my lips. But I guess the olive oil does help to moisturize my lips at the same time. But I'm not sure how long it will last. It tastes awful. Okay, don't eat it. Yeah, it doesn't taste very good, but it does work. So yeah, hey, not too bad at all. Happy. The most work-intensive recipe was probably this beetroot blush. So here I am taking a beetroot, and I'm going to basically use a peeler to make very small chips. And I have to make the chips so I make the beetroot powder. So once you have the chips ready, which is actually pretty easy to do, Now lay them on a baking tray with aluminum foil underneath. Please don't put any oil unless you want a little bit of oil in your blush, but usually just don't put any oil so it dries out a little bit faster. And then put it into your oven. This is a convection oven. I'm actually at my boyfriend's house because I don't have an oven actually, so I'm using his oven and his kitchen. But I'm just placing this inside and I'm going to leave it for around like 10-15 kind of minutes, and it turns into like this little crispy kind of little mess. And you have to watch it because you don't want it to be basically blackened. And then I put it into the food processor to kind of make it into a powder. Unfortunately, I didn't have a pestle and mortar or mortar, and I couldn't make the powder, but then I just used a spoon to kind of press it in to make the small little particles anyway. Then what you want to do is you want to strain this powder in a tea strainer so that what you get in the bottom is very fine kind of powder. As you can see, this is definitely beetroot powder. And then I'm going to be putting a bit of arrowroot powder and mixing both of it. And you kind of have to do a little bit of trial and error in terms of the ratio. I would say put as much beetroot powder as you can and put a very small amount of arrowroot powder because it ended up being very sandy, as you can see. Alright, so here is my blush that I made, and it looks just like this. I added a little bit more beetroot powder, like I sieved a little bit more inside so it would get the pigmentation, because when I swatched it on my hand, it really had no pigmentation whatsoever, which is really upsetting because making those beetroot chips and making the beetroot powder took a very long time. But this is what the color looks like now, so it's a little bit more red than before. But the beetroot powder is kind of like a very earthy tone, so it kind of almost kind of is bronzer like. If I were to go to like Ayers Rock in Australia, that is the color of the earth, so it's quite earthy, more bronzy brown and reddish than an actual blush or a blush that I've used. So yeah, it's kind of very reminiscent of a mineral blush. However, you can see the particles differ from the arrowroot powder and the beetroot powder. You can see that there are very small little chunks and it isn't a unified product like what you get commercially. So that might be a little bit of a problem because you do have a little bit of kind of like a separation of particles. Smells wise, it smells just like chips. It's weird. I've never eaten beetroot chips because again, I do not like to have beetroot. I don't like just eating beetroot in general, so I tend to stay away from those things. But yeah, so let's put on my face. I'm gonna take some on the cap, just like this. Oh. It's kind of very sand-like. It looks just like sand. Maybe just a little less. I'm not sure how to actually use this. On my brush. So on the brush it looks like this. I have a feeling it's gonna be really messy. Okay, here we go. Well, there's like nothing coming on, unfortunately, and I have a feeling that I don't think there's gonna be any pigment at all. Which is weird because when that YouTuber did it on hers, it looked like a blush, but maybe you have to put more. But yeah, it doesn't really work, guys. It's just annoying because it took such a long time to make. But looks like I have to stick to my blush that I use or buy from the store because this does not really work. I can try again though. Like theoretically it looks like it will work, but not exactly. Last thing I'm cooking up today is a avocado makeup remover, and apparently you can just split open an avocado just like this and open it up, and you can get a Q-tip and actually just kind of take some of the oil off the avocado and use it as a makeup remover. Alright guys, so the last thing I have is my avocado makeup remover. And it's actually just using the oil from the avocado and nothing else. So I read online that all you have to do is just have your avocado just like this. I already halved it. And then you just kind of just use a Q-tip like this. Olive oil tastes funny. Anyway, use your Q-tip and just scrape off some of the oil. Apparently there's oil. I was really confused reading the thing because I was like, I didn't know that they just had oil. And then you don't need to scrape chunks. It says you don't need to scrape chunks off, but you just kind of, I guess, do this. I'm not too sure because there are no diagrams, but I thought it was pretty interesting. So I'm just petting the avocado and just, I guess, getting a good amount of the oil. So I'm gonna zoom in and we're gonna see if it can remove my eyeliner. All right, so here's my eyeliner from the charcoal, and I'm going to see if it removes. It kind of does. Like this. Yeah, almost all gone. Cool, this is amazing. Oh my gosh. Alright, so what I removed was charcoal eyeliner, and I'm thinking that that's probably not too hard to remove. So let's see and put on some commercial eyeliner and see if it does the same thing. I'll be right back. Alright, so here I have my liquid eyeliner, and I'm just gonna apply it on my eye. Okay, so that is my liquid eyeliner. I'm gonna let it dry, and then we're gonna see if we can remove it with the avocado. Alright guys, so here is my avocado, and I'm gonna take some with, again, my Q-tip, and I'm gonna rub it over the seed. Definitely harder to remove, but it's removing, guys. Cool. This is amazing. Actually, it moves a little better. Use an avocado. Wow. Alright, so that was just plain amazing. I'm just gonna go draw my eyeliner again, and that's because I don't want to look like I have one eyeliner on and one without. So alright guys, so not too bad at all. I think the most amazing thing that I saw doing all this DIY recipe stuff, which took ages actually, so I really hope you guys appreciate this video. But it was the avocado. This is just hands down the best thing that I've ever even discovered today. I had no idea that an avocado could remove your makeup. You can just like literally just take the seed out and just like wash your face with it. I mean, amazing for people with sensitive skin. I would have never even knew that an avocado could do that. I don't really like eating avocados, but I have just so much more respect to the avocado. Overall, most of them actually did work. I think like just the blush didn't work, so I was pretty disappointed with this. But overall, everything is pretty natural, even though like the charcoal pills were kind of activated charcoal. It's still, you still eat it, so you still can eat everything that I just put on my face, which is amazing because it just kind of puts things into perspective. I think the trend here is that as long as you get the color of the product, like maybe it comes from the berries or the beetroot or the cocoa powder, as long as the color is there, you can mix it with different powders. And there's different types of flour. There's rice flour, there's arrowroot flour. Arrowroot, I think the reason why they use it is because it is a lot silkier than baking powder or baking flour, so they use this one. But overall, not too bad at all, and it was really actually quite cool to see that I could actually make my own makeup out of natural products that I could eat. So yeah, I really hope you like this video, and thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.